Hey, this is Ludwig Hitzman from Joystick. I found Brad Muir. You're sort of in charge of Massive Chalice for Double Fine, which is the massively successful Kickstarter project that followed up on Broken Age.
Yeah, we launched it about 2 weeks ago. $725,000. We hit the goal in like 5 or 6 days, which was really, really awesome. Yeah, it's not as big as the Broken Age one, but it's like a new IP, a less known creator. We haven't finished Broken Age yet. Like, there's a lot of like different factors at work, but I'm really just super excited that many people trusted us and they really understand the situation about multiple teams at the studio. I'm really excited to stop pitching games and start making games again.
Yeah, so that's brazen. What do you think? I couldn't hear you.
The kind of high level pitch for the game is that you are this immortal ruler of this fantasy kingdom, and it's being invaded by this demonic army, and the invasion is going to last hundreds of years. So we're really looking at XCOM and Final Fantasy Tactics. Those are the two big inspirational games. So the structure is very similar to XCOM. So you have a tactical layer where you're controlling your squad of heroes and you're fighting demons in these turn-based tactical battles. And then that, you're taking their technology and their bodies and sort of bringing them back to this really broad strategic layer, the other half of the game, where you're going to decide like what kind of technology you're going to invest in and research, and like what kind of equipment you're going to produce for your heroes. But then we have this thing called the epic timeline. This is the real like twist of the game, is that in that very XCOM fashion on the strategic layer, when you say go and flow, speed up time, it's going to move very quickly. There will be, instead of days between events, there will be like months or years between events, and all of your heroes will age over the course of that timeline. So part of it is just to get people emotionally invested in the heroes, is that you'll see them, like when they're gangly teenagers that, kind of squires that can barely fight, and then they'll kind of be in their 20s for the next battle, and then they'll be in their prime for the next one. Then they'll start kind of going over the hill. And the great thing is that we can do this through like RPG stats and stuff. Just by waning a character's stats, just reducing them when he gets older, you'll really feel it in the gameplay that like they're not as good as they used to be, and then eventually they'll just be too old and they'll pass away. So the biggest decisions that you'll have to make in Massive Chalice on that strategic level are, which of these heroes do I want to retire from combat? So you have to like do without them for the next few battles, but you set them up in a keep as a lord, and then when the timeline runs, they'll have a chance of producing children, and then those children will be the heroes that grow up and like fight, continue the battle like hundreds of years in the future. So I really like the long-term planning sense that you'll have on the strategic map. Yeah, that's sort of the like elevator pitch for the game, and like just that structure of XCOM with some of the things from Final Fantasy Tactics and some other strategy games. Like I really like just my like own personal style of like game design is kind of like mashing stuff up and like taking from different games and different genres, like keeping the things that I like and trying to fix the things that I don't necessarily like. And yeah, I think you end up with something that feels unique and different, but also kind of familiar. Like there are a lot of similarities to those games because they're really fantastic.
How are your expectations sort of panning out in terms of executing the high level concepts that you've gone over? Because you've talked about age and like representing time in a game, but like, I mean, we've obviously heard stuff about, you can plant a seed in a game and there'll be a tree 20 years later. We've heard that. So how does that really pan out when you have to sit down and design the game and formalize this sort of ethereal concept in a way?
Yeah. We've definitely seen some game designers in the past who have like promised really lofty things, and then it's like they really feel infeasible. Like it just doesn't. It just feels like there's no way that stuff is gonna really happen. I think the things that we've chosen feel pretty concrete in my mind. Like I have a pretty solid idea of like how we could approach the aging mechanic, how we can have the characters, like through different character models or like procedural joint scaling and like procedural textures that whatever. There's lots of different techniques that we can do to really like bring across the fact that like these characters are aging, but they're still the same characters throughout their life. So like I think that we'll be able to really nail that one. But a lot of it is like you don't know. It's kind of a scary answer, but yeah, I think a lot of it is like you don't know, and you have to do a lot of prototyping, a lot of like rapid prototyping, like try to figure out if it's going to work as quickly as you can. I did a little bit of running up to the decision to actually do the Kickstarter. I did like a little Unity prototype for the strategic layer. It's really terrible. can't look at it. It looks terrible. Because it's like all cubes and primitives and whatever, and like, you know, chunky, terrible text on the screen. It just looks awful. But the idea, you know, is just to see if like, would this part be fun? Like because this is the part that I feel like is very different from the inspirational games. It's like quite different. So, you know, is it fun to like match up characters in keeps and then, you know, see them produce children and see those children grow up and then see your older heroes die? Like, is this something that would actually be fun from like a simulation kind of management perspective, you know? And it's cool. Like, it's a very, very simple thing that we produced, but I was like, yeah, like this is gonna work. Like, give me enough confidence to be like, yes, like this part, like, you know, we don't have all the answers right now, like all the wrinkles kind of figured out, but for sure it's gonna work. It's gonna be cool. Like I have a pretty high degree of confidence that that we'll be able to figure it out as we go through the game. But I mean, another thing that's cool about it is that I want to do the development in a very open fashion. Like we did our Amnesia Fortnite last year. I don't know if you or any of the viewers at home like watched any of that stuff, but it's a very cool process that Tim Schafer created where we shut the company down for a couple weeks. We make a bunch of like smaller teams, so we all make prototypes and stuff. And last year we did it in a very like open fashion. We streamed the whole thing every day, and people would like watch us develop the game and ask us questions and stuff. And it was just fantastic. Like having that community feedback, like the intimacy with the community was amazing. It was just like, it was so cool. So I want to do stuff, like I want to just do as many things as we can to kind of show people the process. And we're seeing that on Broken Age too. Like it's just been just really amazing, like having people engaged at that level and sort of seeing how the sausage gets made and like kind of traveling with us on the like journey of making this game. It sounds really cheesy when I say it like that. Travel with us on the journey of creating this product.
The journey on the conveyor belt of the sausages that are exiting the factory.
Totally is.
Well, I mean, as you pointed out, it is a mark of trust when people invest, you know, via Kickstarter, and a lot of questions have been around: do people want to invest, or do they feel comfortable investing in a Double Fine project when the first one hasn't, you know, come out and given them an indication of how things are going to go?
Yep.
It sounds like these are completely separate products, though.
Yep. Yeah, totally different. You know, different team, like different people working on it, different project lead, different genre, like everything's different about it. We totally get it if people don't want to back it. You know, it's like, that's kind of an awesome thing about Kickstarter is that if you feel uncomfortable about the fact that like maybe you put a lot of money into Broken Age and you still haven't seen that come to fruition, like is it even going to be good? Like, I've played it. I think it's going to be really good, but you know, it's not going to be done for a while. And you know, if you feel uncomfortable about it, that's cool. Like you don't actually have to back this one. Like you could just wait until this one's finished and buy it then. But you know, the truth of the matter is that like the budget is in flux, and that the more money that we raise, the more money that we get early, like in the stage, just the better the game's going to be. Like we'll be able to put more features in, be able to iterate on the game more. It's just going to be a better game, like overall. It's exciting. Like and you know, it's like we're gonna screw up and we're gonna make mistakes, and you know, they're all gonna be public mistakes, and that's. But like
this video.
Yeah, like this video, like this. Yeah, this is a huge mistake. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna like mess up in public, and that's a little bit scary. But it's also like, I think it just helps build trust too. That it's like, you know, we're totally fallible, and like we're gonna trip up, but we'll figure it out, and we're gonna make the game the best game it can be. And yeah, I'm just kind of excited about doing it with the doors wide open on the studio. Like I think it should be really fun and interesting and just exciting, I guess. Like I love that part of the community. Like, and I have talked about this a lot, but like just getting excited about something, and then when you share that idea with somebody, they get excited about it. Hopefully they get excited about it. I mean, not always. Sometimes you just have bad ideas and nobody gets excited about it. But hopefully they get excited about it. And then like I get really inspired by that, and then I get excited about the fact that they're excited, and then it just kind of bounces back and forth. You know, it creates this cool like echo chamber, and it happens like on the team. Like that's probably my favorite part of like actually running one of these games and like, you know, running a project at a studio like Double Fine. It's awesome that it's so collaborative and everybody's like, you know, playing off of each other's ideas and stuff. But being able to do it with the community so early gives you that same, it's just like amplifies it, you know. There is a lot more to deal with, like a lot more feedback and a lot more, you know, echoing stuff, but it's just really exciting that everybody is contributing to the game and commenting and talking about it. And I think it just inspires us to like work harder and just make the best game we can even more. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And if all else fails, you just fill the Massive Chalice with Kool-Aid.
We can totally do that. Yep, and that's it. And then yeah, we'll distribute that Kool-Aid to everybody, and then that's it. And we'll, everybody's it's done.
Right, we're done.